Hello, people. I'm showing you in the background here my very first Slitherio or Slither.io gameplay, but I'm actually recording this audio first because I want to tell you a very amazing story. It's a story about a material that you might have in your hand right now. You very likely use it to look outside. You might even have it on your face. We absolutely take it for granted, but it is at the very heart of many, if not most, of the developments we use every day in our modern world. It's a big part of what differentiates the modern world from the past. And that material is glass. You might say, well, come on, it's made from common sand, it's been made for thousands of years, but for most of that time, glass was only made as an opaque, often colored form of glass. The key here is transparent glass. It was invented in Venice, what is now Italy, in the 13th century. The story of that is that there were tradespeople fleeing battles in what is now Turkey around the time of the Crusades. They set up shop in what was then an important independent city-state, a relatively safe place. But due to the risk of fires, the city forced them all to live on a single island, because of course their glass furnaces were a risk to their wooden houses at the time. But due to the profits for the city, because the glassmakers brought in lots of money, at the same time they passed a law that they were forced to stay in Venice on pain of death. They couldn't leave. So they brought them all together in one space, creating a collaborative environment, but that was also in competition. There was this flow of ideas, and that led one man, Angelo Barovier, to attempt to perfect clear glass. He worked first with an alchemist, then he pursued his own experiments, and ultimately he was successful. He created transparent glass. We didn't have that before. Clear glass created a whole series of revolutions. In many ways, it actually led to the modern world, and that's how I'm going to blow your mind today. Let me tell you about it. So it created revolutions in science, in agriculture, in architecture, art and philosophy, eventually technology and electronics. So, of course, clear glass could be used for things like greenhouses, so you could grow food in northern climates and improve the nutrition there. But really, it kind of started with lenses, glass lenses for spectacles, glasses, as they're known in different parts of the world. So we had lenses, and those became more popular once the printing press came along. With the printing press, we had the spread of books and knowledge. There was increased demand for and development of lenses. Before that, it was just, among monks and monasteries copying manuscripts. That's where it started. But then, with the printing press, that led to further development. With that demand and development, the lens makers started to experiment with other uses for their lenses. And that led to the creation of microscopes and telescopes. They were ultimately invented actually in the same town, but independently. So each of these microscopes and telescopes had an extremely profound effect on human understanding and science, created whole new realms of knowledge. Microscopes led to microbiology, a revolution in human health and life itself. Our understanding of things like bacteria, viruses, all that stuff, it all depended on the creation of microscopes first. Telescopes, similarly, but perhaps more profoundly, challenged the belief that the Earth was everything and we were the center of it. It was the first time we discovered that we were not the center of everything, that everything didn't revolve around us. We discovered we're not only not the center of the solar system, we weren't the center of the galaxy, we weren't the center of the universe. We discovered the universe outside of Earth just because transparent glass and then lenses. So this challenged all kinds of dogma, centuries of what we thought we understood, completely changed our understanding, created all kinds of upheavals in society. Now, alongside lenses, mirrors were also perfected, which also further challenged our outlook on life and society. It created the rise of individualism. Before that, people didn't even know what they looked like unless somebody painted a picture of them. And that's not quite the same thing as really seeing yourself, right? So, I mean, mirrors sort of existed, but they were really distorted. You might have like a metal surface, and you know what that looks like. It's like walking into a funhouse. So good, more perfect mirrors created sort of the rise of individualism. the ability to see ourselves as separate and unique, which changed art and philosophy, which then in turn changed science, changed theology, law, economics, politics, and so on. You could say maybe this had a lot to do with the modern rise of democracy, for instance, among other things. Now, the lenses also led to cameras, which then led to movies, which then led to television, and eventually we were able to televise the moon landing, something we didn't even know was possible just a few centuries earlier. We didn't even know that the moon was a place that we could go. You know, it was that thing in the sky. I don't know, it's a round glowing disc, whatever. Then we went there, and everyone was able to see it. Imagine. Just imagine that. Now, we also created fiberglass, because, of course, people were very curious by this point. 1800s, 1900s, even the 20th century, 21st century, people were very curious about the properties of glass. So they figured out that they could make fiberglass, they could blow these strands of glass, glue them all together, which led to improvements in boating, led to modern wind turbines, which we're using now for renewable energy, and the creation of circuit boards, which, of course, anyone using an electronic device right now, hopefully you realize that depends on fiberglass circuit boards. So modern electronics also depend on glass. And then fiber optics. Fiber optics were developed in the 1960s as a response to a phone system which was on the brink of collapse. Copper wires could only carry so much. You could only make them so fat, you know? You could just create fatter wires or bundles of wires, but copper wires could only carry so much, as you know, if you've got a home phone connection that depends on them. So along came fiber optics. Modern communications in the information age might be impossible without it. Social networking, photo and video sharing. You know, maybe we could have created the internet, but it would have been the old school text internet. Social networking, photo and video sharing rely on massive bandwidth. We're sharing our lives, everything, our experience with the world. This is a revolution still in progress. Citizen journalism, the political upheavals like the Arab Spring and all the things that have come out of that, all kinds of democracy movements. It's the shared experience of humanity, only possible because of glass. Think of your smartphone. It's emblematic of so many of these developments. You've got your camera, you've got your screen. I mean, a TV screen, a computer screen, a smartphone screen. Those are all glass, of course. In the modern age, we can do some of this with plastic, but only because we first discovered it with glass. So without glass, we might be stuck still in a static society. We might still be in the Dark Ages, the Middle Ages, who knows? We might all be farmers. Instead, here we are, learning about other cultures, learning about other ideas, and even learning about other worlds, which we couldn't have even imagined without it. So there's your mind-blowing thought for today. I hope you enjoy. Hope you like the video. If you want to see more of these, I've got some more ideas. So please subscribe, let me know, give me some comments, tell me what you think. And I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.